Joining us, New York Times chief White House correspondent and MS Now contributor Peter Baker, former advisor to George W. Bush and John McCain, Mark McKinnon, and MS Now senior legal reporter Lisa Rubin. It is astounding, Peter, how many times we have in this past year had images that neatly coincide with the chaos or the incompetence surrounding Donald Trump. The reflecting pool is one of those instances, and we can put up on the screen. I'm sorry to show this, but there's now questions about whether the pool might have killed baby ducks. They're looking into this. What's the White House doing?
Well, I mean, look, first of all, of course, it's never Donald Trump's fault. It's always somebody else's fault. Somebody else in some conspiracy somewhere has, of course, killed that duck and made the reflecting pool that was so brilliant that he had fixed, a font of algae bloom. Never his fault. Look, what's remarkable is that it's not that we're talking about the reflecting pool, is that he keeps talking about the reflecting pool. This was such a priority of his in the middle of a wartime that it left a lot of people confused. Why was it so important to him? It's one thing for the National Park Service to care about things like that. That's their job. The President of the United States, we usually think of as somebody who's focused on a little bit bigger altitude priorities. And, the Middle East is one of them. So in the same time, he's waging a war that seems to have produced, at least according to even some of his friends, not a lot. He's busy focusing on what has or hasn't happened at, a body of water down the road in Washington. And I think it speaks to the confusion that a lot of the public has about where this presidency is going. They're worried about their pocketbook issues. How come they can't afford a house? How come they can't afford groceries? How come they can't afford gas? And the president is busy looking for a conspiracy at the reflecting pool.
To be clear, I mean, the pool's always had issues. It's been the bane of many administration. But he's really focused, and he keeps being focused on this, and he's doing it with Iran, too. He's got to be better than Obama. So he brings this up, Peter. He decides and declares that he's going to change it. He's going to fix it. It's going to be wonderful. And he keeps going on about it, as you mentioned. But then he also has to try to top Obama. What is the obsession with trying to top Obama? Why can't he just let it go? The presidency's over.
He's trying to top Obama because Obama is more popular than him, had a presidency, according to polls, that more Americans supported then and now. Obama, according to most polls, is one of the most popular figures in American life. And I think he just has always fixated on Obama. Why did he talk about the birther lie? Why did he sit there and talk about how Obama supposedly wasn't born in this country? And of course he was. He's trying to undercut him, trying to undermine him. When he is sitting at that White House Correspondents Association dinner in the audience while Obama is on stage making fun of him, he's seething, right? You can see from the clips, if you haven't been there yourself, you can see the television clips how he was, furious at being mocked by Obama. And ever since, he's blamed Obama for all manner of, things that have hurt his administration. The Russia investigation is all Obama's fault somehow. He's accused Obama of treason. He suggested Obama should be arrested. And yes, as you say, on anything, whether it be the reflecting pool or the Iran deal, he has to say he's doing better than Obama, when in fact, at the moment, it doesn't look like that.
Yeah, let's talk about the politics that the American public, the way that they are digesting this, Mark. We put up on the screen the number of Americans who said this war was worth it. It's very few. Even Republicans are not quite sure the war is worth it, and they're not happy with the deal. Here are those numbers. What does this White House do now that they are in this mess? Is it something they can clean up? Is it as easy as draining a pool and trying to resurface the bottom and filling it back up again?
Well, Katie, I mean, the metaphors they're so perfect for his adversaries. Metaphors are important to storytelling. And I'm reminded as I watch, the ballroom and the reflecting pool, and just how obvious a metaphor that is for what's going on with the Trump administration, where his priorities are right now. I think about the day that I saw the video of John Kerry windsurfing in 2004, and that was a perfect metaphor for John Kerry and the flip-flop. And we wrote the ad, that windsurfing ad, in 30 seconds because it made itself. So because that perfectly illustrated John Kerry. Well, the reflecting pool and the ballroom are perfect metaphors for Donald Trump and the fact that his priorities are not with the American people right now. So his two big problems right now are the reflecting pool, which was, that was all about him. That was his idea. And your point is so perfect about it's always about Obama. And then Iran, which is also about Obama. And they wanted to outdo Obama. And the fact is that no matter how you draw this up, it doesn't look like there's any possible route to a conclusion in which it's any better and likely much worse than the Obama agreement that was put in place years ago.
Yeah, but he still doesn't hear it. Even if he sees those poll numbers, and who knows if he's seeing those actual poll numbers or if he's seeing numbers that are more favorable, the president refuses to acknowledge when he is asked that the American public is not happy with it. Let me play Donald Trump regarding the $80 billion Iran war request.
Not only do they support it, they demand it because they won't allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. You want to see trouble? Let them have a nuclear weapon.
I mean, he's often just declared something to be true, and it's worked for him, Mark. That's been his modus operandi now for many years, and it